Okay, so today's video is going to be about how to spot fakeouts in price action and how to trade against them. So we don't want to be caught trading these breakouts that turn out to be fakeouts and then we see price reversing completely. This happens to a lot of traders, a lot of new traders, still happens to me every once in a while. You can't completely avoid them, but I'm going to show you some patterns with support and resistance where you're going to be pretty confident that you have a fake out and that you have some trapped traders, and now you can enter against that fake out. Okay, so we're going to be trading with the trend unless we see something interesting on the CVD that really justifies with the price action and the CVD that really justifies taking a scalp against the trend, but that will be more advanced. But mostly we're going to go with the trend. Now let me do some, just a little drawing for you guys to kind of introduce you to the strategy, and then we'll go on the actual chart and look at the actual candles. So let's see, we have some price action. It's always a little bit messy, right? But essentially we have a downtrend, okay? And we're gonna, so let's say this is the 5-minute time frame, right? This is 5-minute price action. We will go and draw our levels on the 1 hour. So let's say this is a 1 hour level here, and let's say we got another 1 hour level here, okay, which are also often 5-minute levels. But these are 1 hour levels, these white lines. What we're going to be looking for is pullbacks to these levels, a 5-minute close above the level, right? So a fake out, a 5-minute close above, and then a push down with momentum. We're going to be looking for a strong bearish candle that gets us back on the trend. So we don't want to have just a wick, mind you. We don't want to see just a wick up here. We really do want to see one 5-minute candle, maybe a couple even 5-minute candles close above, and even ideally also a 15-minute candle close above, and then a strong bearish candle to the downside. Why do we want a close above and not just a wick? Well, that's because it's going to give us more trapped traders. If you just have a wick on the 5-minute, that means you have some 1-minute traders that got trapped above, but it might not give us enough fuel, liquidity, fuel. I talk about that in a lot of my videos, because if you have actually the 5-minute close and even a 15-minute close, that's going to give you, excuse me, all of the 5-minute traders, they're going to try to go long. I mean, a lot of them, the breakout 5-minute traders are going to try to go long and get trapped. And also now you have the 15-minute traders who are also going to be trying to go long on that 15-minute breakout and be trapped if they turn out to be trapped. Because then once we have our strong bearish candle here on the 5-minute closing back below, that is going to give us our confirmation now to enter a short back on trend, right? That makes sense? So that's the best way I can explain it to you here with that drawing. And now we're going to move to the 1 hour time frame to draw our levels. So to explain how I draw my support and resistance on the 1 hour is kind of difficult. It's very visual, but basically here you're going to have a bullish candle and then a bearish candle, and that gives us a level. You can see, by the way, that the next 1 hour candle just hit that level and rejected from it, right? Here you have another 1 hour level, right? Bearish candle, then bullish. You can see that little, it's a visual level of support and resistance, right? Here, support. You can see, by the way, that here you did have a level, right? At that point, you have a bullish candle, then bearish. It got broken through. So you're not going to keep that in. You want these fresh levels that haven't been touched yet. In this case, this one has been hit, but we just wicked above, closed back below. It's still a strong level, okay? So we're drawing these levels on the 1 hour. This is not a level, for example, right? It's in between two bearish candles. That's not a level. Here, between two bullish candles, that's not a level, although we did have a reaction. Okay, that's the best I can do. I don't want to go too deep and too high, draw the levels. You can watch other videos about that. I think it's pretty clear. So we're just going to draw these levels on the 1 hour, and then we're going to enter on the 5-minute time frame. And for my CVD people, I have been having a lot of comments about CVD. We're going to be looking at it as well. I know it's a very popular indicator. I love to use it as well. So we'll always keep an eye on the CVD. So we have our 1 hour levels. And now we're moving on to the 5-minute time frame. Here it's going to be Asia open. And we're going to be looking again for either a close above here and then a sharp move back to the downside, trapping some longs, or the same goes to the downside. We're going to be looking for longs, obviously, because we have a strong bullish trend, although it looks like it's getting a little bit weak here, to be fair. You know, after a strong push like this during New York, Asia tends to range a little bit, but we'll see. Okay, so this is a good example. You have a wick here, right, which did grab some highs. It could be tempting to short, but we don't have a bearish candle. And we've said that wicks are not enough. We do want some bullish closes. Now, we could have a real breakout here. It's still extremely bullish. Let's keep an eye on the CVD as well for my CVD people. So, okay, what's interesting here is, look at that. We do have a very potential, well, let's see what happens first. We could get a CVD divergence. Okay, so we have a fake out here, right? Strong bullish candle. Put yourself in the shoes of a breakout trader. This is a perfect looking breakout, and they would have their stop loss maybe here or even at the bottom of that candle. You're in a strong uptrend. That's a strong looking breakout. And immediately you have a sharp move to the downside. And you know, I don't know if I would take that trade in real life because it's against the trend. But look at this. We have, since all the way down here, price making higher highs, and CVD has been going down. It did spike up here, but this high is still lower than these highs, right? And these highs on price action are higher. So we're getting, in this case, we're getting exhaustion, right? So we could take, let's say, just for the sake of this video, we could take a short here. It's not ideal again because it is against the trend, but the CVD is giving us a pretty decent signal here. Okay, so that's good. You know, again, a risky trade, but that's good. Now we're getting a reaction from that 1 hour level, but we're not going to trade just the support 1 hour. We want to see a fake out below that 1 hour level. So we want to see a 5-minute or a 15-minute close below, and then some strong bullish momentum. By the way, let me check the 15-minute on our trade here. Yep. You see, we had a 5-minute close, but also, this is the 15-minute now, we had a 15-minute close. So this was a very powerful breakout, fake out in this case, because as I've spoken about in the introduction of the video, if you have a 5-minute candle close and a 15-minute candle close, that is two types of traders, the 5-minute traders and the 15-minute traders, that are trying to break that breakout. And if it turns out to be a fake out, it's going to be a very powerful one potentially. So this was good. Now this level, now that we've traded it and we've had the fake out, we're going to delete it because we're not interested in trading it again. Here we're getting a bounce from it. We're keeping that level because we didn't have a fake out. We might now go straight to the upside from here. It's very possible. We're kind of ranging. This is low volume time. This was more like Asia open. Okay, so we're getting that breakout now. Are we getting a CVD divergence? Well, technically you could look at it from here, right? CVD divergence, but I'm not going to trade this randomly, you know, considering that's a real confirmed breakout so far. And in a very strong uptrend, there's, you know, I would not trade just the CVD divergence out of nowhere like this. You need to have your context. Okay, so we're going back down into the range. So, by the way, you could consider this a fake out again, but we went way too high and we closed a lot of candles above. And then like shorting this, like what here, this would be your confirmation, then your stop loss is here. You know, you could take that trade, but that's not what the strategy is here. Okay, let me slow down a little bit. Let's look at the CVD. Again, we don't have a fake out here on that 1 hour level, still nothing. CVD is doing the same thing, basically, same lows. So it's equal lows, so there's nothing to look at here. We're bouncing from that 1 hour level again. Okay, we're closing below, but we're not closing back in the range, right? We're not closing back above that 1 hour level. And we were not having momentum. We want strong bullish momentum if we were to take a long. Okay, that's good. And do we have a CVD? We have nothing interesting on the CVD either. Well, you could say this here, actually. It would be the continuation kind of that, right? We have a lower low, equal lows here on price action, or higher low, but lower low on the CVD. So we could try that. Okay, yeah, that's a good trade. So even if you forget about the CVD, that's the main point of the strategy, is just a fake out. We have a fake out here on the 5 minute below that level. We did grab these lows as well. You know, I like to see that as well in my previous videos. And probably on the 15 minutes, again, look at that. Beautiful fake out on the 15 minute. Nice close here below that 1 hour level. We are also reacting from general support here, but we have a lot of breakout traders here, maybe aiming for this level, and they get caught, right? So nice trade in this case as well. Plus we've had a pretty decent CVD divergence here. Okay, now we're getting into London. So we're deleting that level, right? We're not going to trade it again. Here, a little just to look at the CVD, we're still at our 1 hour, excuse me, 1 hour level, and you know, I wouldn't trade that because it's been tested so many times. It looks like it wanted to fail, but you have a bit of a divergence here, a lower low and a higher low on the CVD, but nothing significant. It wouldn't really be a good trade. This level, by the way, we're not interested in anymore. Let's see, we might be done for the day, yeah. Okay, let's move on to the next day, maybe give you guys some more examples if we can find some. Maybe take a loss as well. Hopefully not, but in the same way, like I don't like to, you know, have videos where everything's a win and it looks perfect. You know, that's not how it's going to be in real life. You're going to take some losses as well. So. Five, six. Okay, so this is going to be right before Asia open, morning. That line here, that vertical line here is the daily open. So here are my levels. Excuse me. Right, this level has been touched, but it hasn't been broken, right? So it's still valid. Same goes for here, and you still have a level here. Again, it's been touched, but it hasn't been broken. Okay, let's have a look. As for, are we looking for shorts or longs? We're kind of ranging here. So we are in an uptrend. We are going to be looking for more longs for sure, but shorts would be acceptable if, you know, if we're getting our justifications. If we're getting confluence, maybe the CVD would help us as well. Which, by the way, this is pre-Asian open, so I wouldn't take it, but look at that. Nice, again, for my CVD people, nice divergence here on the CVD, lower high, higher high, at a level of support, resistance in this case, right? So CVD still amazing, guys. Undefeated. But again, it has to be at a significant level of support and resistance. It has to make sense with the price action. We've seen previously, I think, that we've had a CVD divergence somewhere around here, I don't remember. And you know, it wasn't justified to take one there. Okay, so let's look at our levels here. They're pretty far apart. Could we look at levels on the 15-minute? Because the 1 hour levels are quite far apart, you can also draw them on the 15-minute. I would stick to the 1 hour, but let's just see what happens at this level here. Because, you know, if you're waiting for, you know, for hours to get to your levels, and they're too far apart, it's fair to have some good 15-minute levels as well. Okay, so we're closing below. Not a strong close below, but let's see if we get some momentum to the upside here. Nothing so far. Seems like it could be a real breakout, or... Yeah, okay, so there's no trade here. We stayed below for too long. We kind of really confirmed below. We never have really a close back in, obviously. Let's see now at this level. Again, we're not closing below it for now. Okay, now we are. CVD is starting to show a divergence. We want to see some strong momentum. Yeah, that was not bad, huh? Not really enough momentum though. There you go. Oh, that's almost too much because now your entry is far. But look at this. That is a very big divergence on the CVD. This is exhaustion again. It's not absorption, it's exhaustion. So you're seeing price go much lower from here to here, but the CVD is actually either staying flat or going a little bit higher actually, right? And you're at a 1 hour support and you've had a fake out below that 1 hour support, and now you're getting that momentum. To be fair, you could have taken an entry here and been stopped out, depending on if your stop loss was tight down here. In this case, because I don't like to entering in the middle of the range now, right? But you have this very strong CVD divergence, and you're at the bottom of this larger, the bottom, you're not perfect bottom, but you're at the low side of this big range here within a very strong uptrend on the higher time frame. So let's try along here. Maybe we won't be too greedy. We're going to go for a 1-to-1 up to that level here. But I do like it with the divergence. We retested the 1 hour and there we go. That's great. Okay. So here you had the fake out probably on the 15-minute as well, which is always great. Yeah. Beautiful fake out on the 15-minute. And look at this candle too. That's a nice one. You can see this candle wicked up and down. That's another confirmation for people who are trading this breakout. And also you had a bit lower, you had that 15-minute level here. So you're breaking out of the 1 hour, breaking out of that 15-minute level. It looks, I mean, visually, this is screaming to every trader, hey guys, go short. Look, we even have a strong wick rejection, retest, it's gonna go down. People might even have entered when that candle was looking like this, right, at the bottom here. A lot of people entered right here. I mean, that's a beautiful looking candle on the 15-minute. When it was moving down, it had that wick. And boom, now we're right back in. Okay? So 5-minute and 15-minute is great. Just gonna delete that level. We can also delete this one, I guess. Well, let's just keep it in just for the visual thing. Okay? And I guess that's the strategy. We can have a look. You see, you could have been a bit more greedy here because that level actually, we had broken it, right? We had broken that level and we were respecting that higher time frame trend at the bottom of that big range, huge divergence, right? That was a very nice setup, very nice setup. So we could have been a little bit more greedy. But realistically, I'm telling you what I would have done. I would have TP'd 1-to-1 in that level of resistance here. Okay, listen, I think that's it. I mean, I thought maybe we'd take a loss. I'm sure we would if we kept on backtesting, but I don't want the video to be too long. Listen, I know I've had a lot of comments on asking me to do more CVD stuff, and looking at this makes me want to do another just pure CVD video with support and resistance. So I think I'm going to do that again. Let's see what happens here because I'm seeing a bit of a divergence. Yeah, look at that here. From this low to this low, a higher low. And here you're getting a lower low on the CVD. And we're retesting that level. You could even kind of draw within that 1 hour level a 5-minute order block, right? Where we had that strong impulse, we're retesting it, and we're getting a new impulse here, right? So just in terms of CVD trading, that's not bad at all. Because you're getting, let's see, that's nice. You're getting at the bottom of this local range here, right? You have this local range, you have a 1 hour level, you have a 5-minute kind of order block, you could call it. And you're also at the bottom of this kind of higher range. You're not at the perfect bottom of it, but you're definitely in the lower part of it, right? So that trade would have made sense if you're just doing CVD, right? So this is what I'm gonna do for my next video. This was more about fakeouts. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it makes sense to you. Please do write a comment if you have questions. And yeah, next video will be about CVD again. I want to give a quick shout out to, I get a lot of very positive comments here, and I really do appreciate it, guys. It's really like, it feels good to read these comments. I'm very happy that some of you guys seem to be doing very well with these strategies that I'm demonstrating for you guys. So yeah, it's really nice to read these comments. I try to answer as much of them as I can. And please drop a like and a comment if you want, because it's really helpful. And yeah, it's really great to see all of that positive kind of feedback. I really enjoy it. So thanks a lot for that. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay disciplined out there. Be lucky. I wish you luck on the charts, but stay disciplined. And I always say, if you're trying a strategy, a new strategy, whether it's this one or another one, and you're taking a loss, and just don't get emotional. Go back to the videos. Try to figure out maybe what you're doing wrong with the trend, the range. You need to, by the way, sometimes you're not doing anything wrong and you're just going to take a loss. Happens to me all the time. But if you do take a loss and you're feeling emotional, just stop trading for a couple hours, even for that day. This is what's going to save you money almost as much as your strategies is also you knowing your limits mentally and emotionally, because it's going to be the psychology of it is just as important, if not more important, than the strategies themselves. So be safe out there, be patient, and backtest. Also backtest. I'm showing you this. You go on the replay mode, right, on TradingView, and just backtest for hours and make it make sense for yourself, right? Don't just trust me here on a few examples. Backtest it for yourself, draw your levels on the 1 hour, and then choose a session, Asia session, London session that you want to trade, and just backtest it. Look at the CVD. I think it's great to have it on top of everything else, but the strategy itself with these fake outs is very powerful, as I've shown you here. Honestly, I wish I could have found a loss, just so you know that you're also going to lose. But yeah, and please give me some feedback if you guys are getting some good results in your back testing, and also in real life, live on the charts. And also if you have some negative feedback, or some things that you don't agree on, or whatever it is, you can share that. I'm very happy to answer that as well. Okay, that's it for me today. I hope you guys have a great day.